We have just covered some of the basic roles of a patron leader. A patron leader is you. And you are here, and we're so thankful that you're going through this process of learning what is required. I want to really focus in on 3 major skills. The other modules that you're going to be seeing are going to have some phenomenal skills as well. They could deal with understanding weather emergencies, understanding active shooter situations, understanding fire emergencies, medical emergencies, you name it. We're going to be covering those. But there are 3 fundamental skills that are going to be applied across the board that you have to be aware of and be able to understand, appreciate, internalize, and most importantly, use. What are those 3 skills? Soft skills, hard skills, and then communication skills. Those are going to be the 3 that we want to spend a little bit more time in, and that's why we've broken this out into a separate module dealing with those 3 primary skills. So enjoy the module and learn a lot, and you're going to be receiving a couple test questions at the end, which should hopefully give you some insight that will hopefully show that you actually paid attention to me. I hope that I'm not completely boring, but this is an important topic, and I want to make sure that you understand it and internalize it. And if you've taken a couple of these sample questions at the end and feel like, you know what, maybe you didn't get it, don't hesitate. You can re-listen to or watch the video one more time and prepare yourself, because I can guarantee you on the exam to be a certified patron manager, a CPM, you're going to have at least 1 question, possibly 2, dealing with either soft skills, hard skills, or communication skills. So this is a very important topic. So what are the key skills that you need? There are several key skills a PL will need to learn, master, and then use. Some skills come naturally. Other skills need to be learned in practice. Once a PL has a skill, they must be comfortable using that skill. That is why there's a 3-part process called learn, master, use. One way for a PL to think about this is similar to a sport-related skill. Many people have read about the 10,000-hour rule. That rule implies that to really master a skill, it needs to be practiced for 10,000 hours. While some debate if this is in fact accurate, the more you properly practice a skill, the better you become. If you want to be a great baseball hitter, you first learn the techniques associated with swinging a bat. Then you practice batting with tossed balls or a batting cage at low speeds. Then you might practice at a higher speed before facing a real pitcher. Then you have a combination of live pitchers, tossed balls, batting cages, and other techniques. Through countless hours of practicing, a batter can be proficient enough to face a pitcher who will not just throw simple and easier pitches to hit, but rather a combination of difficult pitches to hit. The same with patron leader training. You might have had significant training in various fields. This training, plus some additional training and practice, will allow you to feel more comfortable when facing typical issues as well as unusual issues by others. The key skills include soft skills, skills such as the ability to listen, have empathy, and work as a team. Soft skills include interpersonal, people skills, communication skills, time management, and other skills that help the patron leader complete their job successfully. Empathy, it refers to the understanding, the capacity to feel what another person is experiencing from within their frame of reference. That is the capacity to place yourself in another's position. When someone is upset, it is often easy to say you feel someone's pain. But do you? Do you really understand where someone is coming from? If someone is upset, could it be due to their team losing a bet, a family issue, work-related issue? There's so many different questions there. It is hard to know why someone might feel upset, and that is why it's critical to ask questions, to find the real reason behind some actions so you can really connect with a patron. For example, if someone is wearing the outfit of the home team, a PL can say they're also a fan, and that can help create a bond. Another skill is honesty. Honesty is a facet of moral character that connotes positive and virtuous attributes such as integrity, truthfulness, straightforwardness, and including straightforwardness of conduct along with the absence of lying, cheating, or theft. You as a PL need to be honest. Patrons know or can tell when someone is not honest, and they hate that. Communication is the next category. Communication focuses on the ability to hear others and understand what they are saying and to communicate effectively with others. The next category is problem solving. When a patron has an issue, the PL needs to be able to solve it. Developing a solution based on the problem presented is a critical skill. It is just as important that not all problems can be solved, nor can they be solved to a patron's satisfaction. Sometimes issues need to be raised to the next level, such as a supervisor, and that's okay. Crisis management. Crisis management is the process by which people or an organization deal with a disruptive and unexpected event that threatens to harm people, the organization, and or stakeholders. A crisis can arise due to a medical emergency, lost child, a rowdy crowd, and numerous other reasons. How a PL responds during an emergency is the key concern. Another soft skill is constant learning. It's also called lifelong learning. Constant learning is the ongoing, voluntary, and self-motivated pursuit of knowledge for either personal or professional reasons. A PL should always want to learn how to do their job better, whether through programs such as this, reading books and articles, watching videos, attending meetings, etc. There are numerous ways to learn and grow, and they make you a better person and a better PL. Another soft skill is reading body language. Part of effective communication entails being able to read body language. Watching eyes, hands, and feet, and even facial color can help interpret what a patron or fellow employee might be feeling. It is important to listen with both your ears and your eyes. Another important soft skill is listening. Another part of effective communication is the ability to listen. Listening is an art form where a PL can read through not just the words, but the tone, emotion, and feelings behind what is said to truly understand the patron's intent. The next category is teamwork skills. Teamwork is the collaborative effort of a group to achieve a common goal or to complete a task in the most effective and efficient manner. A PL should never feel they are alone. You are a part of a team, and that team is a number of people. If others on a team do not do their job, the entire team can be compromised. If you do not do your part, you can jeopardize the team, venue, and the patrons. The next major soft skill is confidence. Confidence is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. A PL needs to feel confident in their ability and skills to do their job. A PL also needs to feel confident in their colleagues and supervisors. Confidence is based on trust, and all PL leaders need to have trust in their colleagues to effectively work as a team. Patrons also will demand that PLs have confidence in their ability. Next category is being coachable. A PL needs to be coachable, which means they can be taught by their supervisors and listen to their supervisors to improve their skills. A PL needs to act similar to a sports player who listens to their coach to perform better during a game. Taking initiative is the next major soft skill. A PL cannot be forced to do the right thing. A PL needs to want to do the right thing, as that will help them feel good about themselves and do the best job possible. A PL can wait for someone else to do a job, or they can do it themselves if it is consistent with their overall mission. For example, a PL might notice a spill. They can notice it and walk away like nothing was there. However, it is much better for the PL to respond to the spill by calling a custodial staff, putting up a sign to warn others, trying to wipe up the spill with some toweling, or positioning themselves by the spill to warn others. The next major soft skill is a strong work ethic. Showing up to work with enthusiasm to do a great job is a wonderful skill. This entails doing the best job possible, showing up on time, being responsible with your equipment, and similar traits that make you a great employee. Another important soft skill is being punctual. Showing up on time, returning from your break on time, and not leaving your spot early are all parts of being punctual and doing your best job. Another soft skill is being kind. Being kind might be like a simple thing or sound so simple, but it's very hard to be kind to people who you might not know. This is why PLs need to think of their colleagues and patrons as family and respect them and treat them similar to how the PL would want to be treated themselves. We're talking about the golden rule here. Now let's go to hard skills. Hard skills are teachable abilities or skill sets that are easy to quantify. Typically, you'll learn hard skills through training programs such as how to complete incident reports or use an AED device. So let's use a couple examples of hard skills. Conflict de-escalation. There are specific skills that can be used to help de-escalate a conflict. That can be using a number of soft skills to show a PL is listening, empathetic, and caring. A PL can be evaluated on how they handle a test situation or a real conflict to measure how they handle the situation. Another major hard skill is basic first aid, such as CPR. Knowing basic first aid or CPR can be taught, and a PL can be evaluated if they know how to respond to a medical emergency. This evaluation can be done through obtaining a first aid card, AED training, CPR training, or responding correctly during an emergency. Basic fire suppression is also a hard skill. Knowing how to put out a fire is a skill that can be taught and practiced. Whether how to use a fire extinguisher or fire blanket or when to pull an alarm, that all fits in this skill set. Dealing with the media is another hard skill. PLs can be taught how to handle media requests. The rule of thumb is to always direct media requests to a supervisor. That is the safest strategy, and PLs can be tested to make sure they comply with that request. Another hard skill is completing an incident report. An incident form is critical to document what happened during an incident. This information can be used for identifying issues, concerns, future training, and liability purposes. PLs can be tested to make sure they know how to report an incident and how to document objective facts rather than subjective opinions. Implementing risk management plan is also a teachable hard skill. Management will have developed a risk management plan to address numerous possible concerns. PLs can be tested to make sure they know what is required from them and how to act. Identifying signs of illness, similar to CPR and first aid, is another hard skill. Besides understanding basic first aid, PLs need to know how to monitor signs of distress or medical necessity. This can entail learning basic symptoms and, when confronted by medical symptoms, whether to contact a supervisor, the command center, or maybe call 911. Resolving disputes is another hard skill. Resolving a dispute is a soft skill, but also can be a tested hard skill. PLs can be tested to see how they respond to various situations through using their skills such as listening, identifying issues, reading body language, etc., and they could work on improving those skills. That's what makes them hard. Technology skills are also a hard skill. PLs can be tested on how they operate equipment they might need for their job, such as a cell phone, flashlight, ticket scanner, iPad, or other equipment required for the job. The last part of this module is to cover some basic communication skills. Communication skills are covered throughout the Certificate of Patron Management program, as that is often the most important tool you have at your disposal. The first thing to cover is the communication cycle. The communication cycle is the process of thinking of a message, encoding the message to communicate to someone else, communicating the message, having the listener receive the message, having the listener decode your message, and having the listener process the message, and then having the listener actually respond, showing they understood the message. We have a diagram that you can look at that shows this process of everything from encoding to the end decoding, then seeing what action was taken. Think about being hungry and asking for someone to make you a hot dog. You go to the concession stand, you see a hot dog on the menu, and you make up your mind to buy it. You tell the person behind the counter that you want a hot dog. You have just developed a message. You just encoded it, and you conveyed that message. The person behind the counter might repeat the order back to you to make sure it is correct. That is an example of the receiver decoding your message. If the person behind the counter says back to you hamburger, then either you misspoke or they did not receive the message correctly. The message is correctly conveyed in the feedback loop if the person behind the counter gives you an actual hot dog. It should be noted that not all communication is verbal. Many people say a lot without uttering a single word. This is especially true for people who might not speak the same language and will need to communicate using a sign language, as an example. There also might be hearing impaired employees or patrons who might also need to leverage their body language to properly communicate with others. This happens all too frequently. The question becomes how to read body language. The following represents several strategies to help PLs read the body language of others. These are not always 100% accurate, but they can help patron leaders appreciate and possibly interpret what is said or possibly what is not said but meant. Study the eyes. Are they open or narrowed, showing distrust? Gaze at the face. Is the person smiling or they have scrunched forehead? Pay attention to proximity. How close are they to you? Closeness might represent attraction or friendliness compared to standing far back and distancing yourself. See if the other person is mirroring you. If the person you are talking with mirrors your stance and movement, then the environment is friendly and not hostile. If they're not, that's when you have to be careful. Observe the head movement. Is the person pointing their head down and avoiding eye contact? Look at the other person's feet. If the feet are together and pointed at you, the person wants to hear what you have to say. If the feet are in a fighting stance, then there is a possible problem. Watch for hand signals. If the hands are raised, clenched, or turning white when they are being clenched, there might be an issue. If the palms are open in a non-threatening manner, then there probably are no issues. So in this section, we have covered a couple key areas that I think are just so important for your job as a PL. Those include soft skills, hard skills, and communication skills. With those three skill sets, you can handle almost anything. You could diffuse so many different situations. There's a concept called verbal judo, which is basically conflict de-escalation through using your terms, using words, using your body language, using your smile. As I try to tell people, your smile is possibly your best weapon. Even if someone is intoxicated and might be acting inappropriately, if you're smiling and treating them well, they're probably going to change their behavior and their stance.